Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Chelsea versus Liverpool, the biggest game of Enzo Maresca's managerial career and, without question, the biggest game in Chelsea's season. I cannot wait for this one tomorrow. I'm excited only because Liverpool have just won the league. They might be hungover, and therefore we might actually get a big win against a big club. Saying that, they're the champions. They deserve it. They've been levels above everybody else in the league this season. So, as much as I've got this, dream that it's such a big dream, it's even given me a flipping spot on my forehead that's about the size of Liverpool. I do think Chelsea can win this tomorrow. I'm excited. Before we go any deeper, I need to talk about Ruud Gullit's comments this week in the Overlap podcast. Ruud Gullit, a legend of Chelsea, a legend of football, was an icon in the mid-90s that basically managed to get so many top quality footballers that I grew up watching into Chelsea Football Club. And Todd Boehly, our owner, didn't have a Scooby-Doo who Ruud Gullit was when he met him. Ruud Gullit mentions that Chelsea's DNA, which is what makes us who we are, isn't quite the same. You had Didier Drogba saying in the past he doesn't recognise Chelsea Football Club anymore. Let me tell you now what needs to happen here. Chelsea's DNA strands that create and formulate what our club is belong in the Champions League. So, Liverpool this weekend are the team that are in front of us now. Liverpool are the team that we've got to go ahead and beat. And our owners might not understand about or even know who they flipping are, who some of the mainstay players in Chelsea's history have been. Imagine not knowing who Ruud Gullit is and saying, so what did you do for Chelsea then? Come on, man. Let's snap in and get this together, because right now, I'm G'd up for this Liverpool game. I want to win this game more than any match I've seen for Chelsea in the last couple of seasons, right? Because we've had a couple of seasons that have been pretty horrendous, really, when it comes to any kind of consistency, when it comes to recognising a winning formula, creating a winning formula. None of that's existed. And we go into this game tomorrow against Liverpool, and I've heard these comments this week, and I'm like, nah, do you know what? Yes, we might have lost a lot of what makes Chelsea Chelsea, but let's make sure that what we're doing now, today, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this video, Liverpool, this is a game we need to be winning. We have got something massive to fight for here. I've spent this week watching the Champions League, Barcelona 3, Inter Milan 3. Such an incredible, phenomenal game of football. I do not want to be playing your Gordon in semi-finals next year. I'm sick of the Conference League. I'm not going to lie to you. We need to be back at Europe's top table. That is how you start to repair damage that's been done. So tomorrow, at home to the champions, there will be a guard of honour before the game kicks off at Stamford Bridge. And look, I'm not a fan of it. I understand that's what happens, and I'm not going to sit here and say we shouldn't do it. We should. Because this is what happens in football. If teams are champions, you go and give them a guard of honour. It's happened to us many times. And credit to all the teams that do it. I don't think necessarily in football these days the rivalries are as bitter, aggressive as they once were. So, maybe it'll all be smiles and, oh, look at you, whoopee-doo, tomorrow. I want it to be look down and be like, right, I don't like the fact this isn't me. I don't like the fact this isn't Chelsea getting the guard of honour. And I want to do something about it. And that starts tomorrow against Liverpool. We have to, tomorrow, dig deep. We're playing against the best team in the country. Liverpool have been a country mile above everybody and anybody else in English football this season. And we went to Anfield earlier this season, and credit to be fair, we played very well, but we were beaten. And we're at the stage of the season now where playing well does not matter if you do not get results. Chelsea are in a position here. Man City beat Wolves 1-0. Wolves played very well, could have had a few goals, but City got it done. City dug deep. City found a way. Kevin De Bruyne, experienced footballer. See where we're going there. So now, tomorrow, Chelsea versus Liverpool. I've said it already at the start of this video. This is Enzo Maresca's biggest game of his career. Forget winning titles with Leicester. Forget your Gordon in Conference Leagues to make it to a final of Europe. No, forget it. This is it. Chelsea versus Liverpool. The amount of iconic matchups we've had with Liverpool over the years, Mourinho, Benitez. This is a rivalry that matters. And it's also a game where the 3 points are so valuable. I know that every 3 points is worth 3. This one is huge. because we have still got a lot of work to do to ensure that we are repairing those DNA strands that Ruud Gullit says are not there anymore. We need to get back at Europe's top table. It is absolutely essential. I'm not hearing any excuses. I don't want to hear, oh, but they're really good. They're so much further ahead of us. No, this is a game where it's about grit. This is a game where it's about digging into whatever is left reserve-wise for the energy this season. And I know we've been playing Conference League games on plastic pitches. I don't give a shit, mate. We hardly had to turn up against the Swedish opposition that we played on Thursday night. This game means everything. It matters. So without any further ado, I'm going to build my Chelsea 11. Can you tell, I'm amped up for this. I need a Chelsea win. I'm desperate for it. Let's go into the team. Goalkeeper, Rob Sanchez. We are currently kind of unknown about whether or not Sanchez is going to be fit enough. He didn't travel with the side to Sweden, and Jorgensen went in goal. I actually thought Jorgensen had a decent game. A lot of you guys in the comments said, no, he should have done better for the goal. Okay, fair enough. We've all got our opinions on the goalkeepers, haven't we? It's something we need to address in the summer. Whether it's Petrovic coming back in or not, we move. Chelsea's goalkeeper, I think Sanchez, will be ready. He's been training on the field at least this week, so he should be all right. Moving into the back four. Caicedo at right back. Chalobah, Colwill, Cucurella. I know that a lot of people just don't like this. And Chelsea's captain, Reece James. It takes a lot for me because I love Reece James. I know how great he can be, but the way that Maresca wants this team to play, I think we have to put Caicedo in the right back position this weekend. I know that Caicedo as a DM is magnificent, but Chelsea are going to have to be very cautious within transitions here, but we're going to have to be clinical when it comes to not only converting chances, but making tackles and ensuring that we don't allow the speedy breakaway players of Liverpool, your Salahs, your Diaz. So much quality in this Liverpool team. We need to be absolutely on job in this game, which is why Lavia and Enzo, in my opinion, has to be the midfield pivot. And look, I know it isn't ideal having Moises Caicedo moving over to right back. Enzo Fernandez is in really good form this season. He's now Chelsea's second highest goal contributor this season, ahead of Nkunku, who's ahead of Jackson. It's all a bit odd, isn't it, really? But that is, right now, for me, the strongest team that Chelsea have. Liverpool's midfield this season, Gravenberch has been amazing. McAllister, amazing. And I think if Lavia is fit, which obviously Romeo Lavia didn't feature in the game against your Gordon, so he had that 60-odd minutes or whatever it was last weekend. And Enzo Fernandez came off at half-time, protected for this Liverpool game that we've got coming up tomorrow. That is what I think the midfield needs to be. And this is what I think the attack needs to be. And you can see we have kept Noni Madueke on the left wing, Pedro Neto on the right wing. Jadon Sancho, I think he played well against your Gordon. I think he's played well since it even came out in the news that Chelsea can just pay a £5 million fine and he's not going to play for Chelsea anymore. He's going to go back to Man United. I don't really care at this point whether Sancho is playing because he wants another move or if he's playing because he's proven himself at Chelsea. All I care about is having the best 11 that we can out there to hurt our opposition and get 3 points, because that's all that matters now. Neto, I think, has played really well. I think he's dug deep. He's found this energy that he's wanting to work really hard for the team. I think Madueke is the most aggressive one-on-one winger. I think he can really hurt Trent. If it's Conor Bradley, which I wouldn't be surprised if Arne Slot picked Conor Bradley over Trent Alexander-Arnold in the attempt to try and stifle Madueke or whoever it is on that left wing. So if it's Conor Bradley, I think Madueke is the better option. I think Sancho will get destroyed against Conor Bradley on that left side if that's the case. And if it's Trent, then, wow, it's going to be a battle, isn't it? Cole Palmer in the 10. This is the game where I think Cole Palmer finally remembers where the goal is. I am seriously concerned about Palmer. There is a lot of theories that people might have. It's Maresca's fault. He's not happy at Chelsea. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care about anything other than putting in your best to beat Liverpool here. This game is huge. I know I quite often say this is the biggest game of the season because football works from the start, game 1 to game 38, right? And there can be the biggest game of the season in week 3. And then by week 10, you're desperate for a win. So that's then the biggest game of the season. We got 4 games to go. All right. And it's actually in our hands now. Liverpool are the newly crowned champions. This is the best game week to play Liverpool this season. At home, Stamford Bridge, where we've been pretty good recently, and they must have had a Beveruni or two last weekend. Surely, if I win a Premier League title, mate, I'm going out and I'm having a two nights in one. Do you know what I mean? We're having a big one. So, Chelsea Football Club, Nicholas Jackson, 3 goals in his last 2 games, 2 great finishes against your Gordon. I know one of them, he walks it in the net. The second one, brilliant with his left foot. Plastic pitch or not, I don't care. Jackson looks like a player with confidence again. We need Cole Palmer to take a little ounce of whatever Nicholas Jackson's confidence pill was, and we need to roll with it. This is such a big game. I think it's going to be open. I think Liverpool are obviously not going to come and try and low block it. Why would they do that? They're the champions. They want to show everyone what great football they can play. Liverpool don't do low blocks. They don't play that way. So they're going to come and try and play. And I made a prediction in the podcast episode yesterday. I said it's going to finish Chelsea 4, Liverpool 3. Some people think I'm an idiot. How are we going to score 4 against Liverpool? We need to. We need to go out there and hurt them. We need to smell blood. We need to smell a team that have been having a bit of a jolly because they're the champions of England. And we need to show the Chelsea DNA. The Chelsea DNA is we don't like giving guard of honours to other teams that are the newly crowned champions. We want to have the guard of honour when we're walking through, out of the tunnel, onto the pitch before a game and towards the end of the season. I am sick of seeing mediocrity at our football club, and this would be a huge step tomorrow towards rectifying that, towards making sure that we are back in Europe's elite competition. I've become obsessed with it. I've actually, it's an obsession. From the last few weeks or so, I want Osimhen to come. That's one thing that you guys have been saying. Bloody hell, Benson, I feel like he's your best mate. I want him to be, all right? I want him at my club. He's an elite striker, and I want Champions League football because I love the Champions League. The quality of the football is electric. It's amazing, and I'm sick of these kind of I don't want to make a match preview for a Conference League game ever again, but I might have to do 2 more. And this guy, that's how stressed I am about getting top 4. I've even broken out at 30 years old. Incredible scenes. But anyway, Liverpool come to Stamford Bridge. I will be live 90 minutes before kickoff tomorrow on GBFC. I'm bringing the energy for this one. Chelsea, do not let me down. Our owners might not know who Ruud Gullit is, but it's a time now for this young squad. Some of them have got to take the mantle and try and write themselves into Chelsea's history as iconic players, big names. And at the moment, no one's really done that. It's time to do it now. Liverpool at home, must win, huge game of football, and we're going to win 4-3. Let me know your score predictions and Chelsea 11s in the comments. Come on, you Blues.